we have completed up to this part, and application layer data is not hyphen d hyphen v hyphen I. Okay, we have seen all these options. For logging, hyphen L to be used. Just now how we have used. The log will be like this. You are supposed to give the log path. Identifying your network. So the network can be identified via the host name, number, or via the Ethernet. Either you may mention to execute the rules, because SNOT is signature based. Whatever the rule that you write is the signature. So this you can execute the rules, or you can test the traffic with the against the execute the rules signatures that you have placed with the help of the Ethernet interface, that is the Ethernet interface to which you are connecting, or via the host address. That means out of the Ethernet 0 that you have connected to a LAN of Ethernet 0, you are looking for the host 19.168.1.0, which is your home address, that is your native address. So this address should be recorded in the snot.conf file under the home network. Then it is easy for this snot to look after this IP address. Okay. Next one is snot using rules. Snot hyphen dev hyphen I eth0 hyphen l, the log file, and just now we have used hyphen c, the snot.conf file. So accordingly, the packets will be filtered according to the rules. And you may also create a TCP dump file. The TCP dump file is not just like your Wireshark file, but a TCP dump will store the raw data, where in case of Wireshark, data is somewhat polished. Next is daemon mode. Daemon mode, in the sense it will run in background. So it won't give you any information on the command prompt. Everything will run in background and will be recorded in the log files. And here are some examples that you can check for the attacks that we have seen in the TCP, UDP, and ICMP, especially ping sweep attack. Ping sweep attack will be conducted to know the live IP addresses in a subnet. The live IP addresses can be checked just by sending a ping command to the broadcast address of the subnet. Then the ping sweep will start. That means the attacker will try to send a ping request to each IP address in the subnet. Individually, they cannot do it. Instead, they use the broadcast address of the subnet, so that the same ping request will go to all IP addresses in that subnet. Now, here is a simple example that was given. Look for stealth port scans or sweeps. Alert TCP. That means you are going to alert the user or the system administrator whenever the packet is of type TCP coming from any network, from any port to the home network on any port. The message is synchronous finished scan. Whenever you find flags as SF, then alert TCP any to any, that is any network to any, from any network, any port, home network. Message is finished scan, flag F. So here EXMA scan and other scans can use here. Now we may copy this and we can also place in our rules. So here are some examples. For our convenience, we can do is like this and copy here. At the same time, we'll use the rules, not rules, local dot rules here. So whenever you write your own rule, you are supposed to mention the SID. So this SID must be mentioned for every rule that you place there. So it may be the rule 2, this is rule 3. Like that, we can modify it. Rule 4. And then we can change everything like that. So currently, I'm going to enable these. So I'm commenting remaining other rules. So we may save it. So for this, we need to do the main thing that we need to configure the not.conf. Why we need to configure this not.conf is for the home network and the other networks. The home network is here 19.168.1.10 by 24, and since I have connected two network interfaces, so you may check cross check that what are the interfaces enabled. IF config. Ethernet 0 is not enabled. However, Docker 0 is enabled and Ethernet 0 is not enabled, which is a virtual network adapter that we have attached. Ethernet 1 is enabled. So we can enable all the Ethernets at once, and we can use the IP addresses. In general, the IP address of Ethernet 0 is on NAT network. So let will enable the Ethernet 0 and we'll run the IF config again. Now you look at Ethernet 1 is not there. The IP address is not showing. So the range address is 10.0.2.15. So we can include the same here 10.0.2.0 by what is the subnet mask here? Subnet mask is 24, 255, 255, 250 by 24. Now this becomes the home address. So now we may write this. Then what we'll do is, anyhow, we have stopped the Windows pinging. Stopped the Windows pinging. Now that will change back to the Ethernet 1. Now anyhow, we have written the rules. I'm opening a terminal, and in the terminal where snot is running, that will run this not. So now there is no flow of traffic because I have stopped the ping. Now what we do is let will go for Nmap scan. Nmap. You need to know at least some Nmap cheat sheet. So here Nmap cheat sheet is there. You can download this Nmap cheat sheet if you don't remember the Nmap command, which will be having the information regarding what type of scan to be conducted. Now here the rules we have written is EXMA scan. Okay. You want to detect the EXMA scan. So let us see the EXMA scan. Is it possible to conduct the EXMA scan? Here the scan technique, Control F, EXMA, or we can say synchronous scan. Let will see some other scans that are available. So TCP synchronous port scan, which is a default scan. Do we have written the rule for that? Synchronous scan, synchronous and finish. So Nmap -SS 192.168.1.1 by 24. So here it is testing for the Windows XP operating system. Let will see is there any. Okay, we got some information here. That means some TCP requests have come from 33 to 1. Some information. That means from 33 it is asking the network ID. Who are the IP addresses? What are the IP addresses in this range? And based on that, the attacks are the synchronous signals are going on. What we do is we'll try to run again. On 1.33. So all ports were closed on XP on the Linux or Kali Linux. So you won't find much information in this. We'll see is there anything was recorded in the log. So comparatively previously some content was recorded. An ICMP packet found. So SNMP AJTX TCP request was received from the same IP address 192.168.1.33 to 1.168.1.4. Okay. So here 1.4 is the IP address of the XP. You may surprise how we got this. Please remember this NOT is the network level intrusion detection system. And we are using the Ethernet 0, ETH0 as the source to sniff. So ETH0 is connected to the LAN, that is host only adapter. Any network that is connected onto the host only adapter will be sniffed. The reason is we have given the option of the promiscuous mode. In the promiscuous mode, we allowed all the virtual machines to be in the promiscuous mode, and so they can listen to any other host-only network adapter. So this is the way we have scanned and we got the logs recorded in this. So anyhow, we have opened the log. It will open the log. This is a difficult task to identify in a text file. If we have a graphical user interface, then it will be easy for us to filter out based upon the IP address and based upon the packet type, etc. And here SNMP request from the Kali Linux to the DHCP server, that is 192.168.1.2, and to the XP operating system. Here SNMP agent TCP request, SNMP request TCP. So these are the simple network management protocol related items were found between the Kali Linux and the Windows XP operating system. Now, since we have included the Ethernet 0 address as the address as the home address, so we may also include the Ethernet 0, but at a time only one Ethernet card will be enabled. So to enable both the Ethernet cards at once, go to the /etc/network. Okay, this is a folder. It is cd/etc/network. So here the interfaces. Okay, so mousepad interfaces. Here this is the loopback adapter. NAT network. This you make it as auto. Auto means automatically configure this Ethernet 0 with the DHCP protocol, dynamic host control protocol, and Ethernet 1 is also like that. So just save it and service network restart. Service, or you can say system CTL network manager restart. Network manager is not available. Okay, let it be. That will reboot. If the network manager is not available, then service is not available, then reboot. So that from next time onwards, both the Ethernet cards will be enabled. And both Ethernet cards, if you want to label it as local, that is home networks, you can mention both the IP addresses, just we have mentioned in the system.conf. Basically, one Ethernet card will be given as the local address, that is home network. The reason is usually this NOT will be placed at the server level after the firewall. So it will keep on checking what is the traffic coming into the network. But for experimentation purpose, on the virtual machine, you may set both the things as one, because with the host only adapter we cannot connect to the internet. We need the local area network such as NAT. Network address translation is required, or maybe bridge adapter is required for sharing the internet of the host operating system to the guest operating system. So that is the reason you are supposed to enable both the things and include the IP address in the system snort.conf, so that you can you can get both the network interface cards active. So how to know that whether interface cards are active or not? So ifconfig. Now Ethernet 0 is also up, Docker 0 is up, Ethernet 1 is also up, loopback adapter is also up. It's almost 2 virtual and 2 other interfaces are also active at a time. So now what we'll do is we have used this snort on Ethernet 1. Now we'll use this on the Ethernet 0. Now what we do is go for the Firefox. You may browse anything like WebKiosk, JIT. Now here the incoming and outgoing traffic will be there. Incoming traffic is to Ethernet 0, which is onto the NAT network. And outside traffic means whenever we request the WebKiosk JIT, obviously WebKiosk JIT server has to respond. And from that server we'll get the response. The response will come to the internal network, that is to ETH0. So let us see some JPBS employee, some XJIT 007. Some password. So anyhow, we got the error message like this. Now you can look after this. So here 14.139.238.107. This could be the IP address of the web server, and we got some replies like this. Now we'll stop this and we'll go to the logs folder where the logs are available. /var /log /snort. See, alert is not alert fast. Some data was recorded. I think 467 bytes were there. Previous data is deleted. So here there is no specific data was found here. ICMP packet found 10.0.2.15 to 19.168.43.1. What is this 19.168.43.1? That means this is the IP address of the host operating system. This is the IP address of the host operating system. Since I have connected my host operating system, that is Windows XP, to the mobile hotspot. So hence this address was allotted. Now it is from the network address translation address, which is what we call 10.20.2.15. It is giving an ICMP request to the network ID of the mobile hotspot. Then it is giving the reply. So that was recorded here. If you want to record any other TCP thing or any other HTTP related things, we need to write the rules for that HTTP related thing. Anyhow, we have not given any HTTP related rules. So the HTTP related rules may be written like this. Here are some rules were mentioned here. How to send a send on alert when someone is pinging with the TTL 255. So this was a request. This is the rule that you are supposed to write. So like that, I have framed some questions and I have got I have written some rules by browsing online. I have collected some important things that are frequently used, and obviously these are not my creations and all, but however this is already available in the rule sets. If it is a user rule, obviously it will be greater than 10 lakh 10 lakh. These are the rules which are less than 2000. So that means you are supposed to assume these are the inbuilt rules. Simply I am showing those rules here. And if you want only HTTP traffic to check, then you are supposed to write the inbuilt thing, like whether it is a TCP one or any other thing. So now it is necessary to understand structure of these rules. What are the options available in this, such as rule header, rule body, and what are the parameters that we'll use in the rule body. So we'll see these details in the next lecture, so that we'll be familiar with the rule writing. Then we'll write some rules for some